What is going on today, guys? Wizard here, and welcome back to an episode of WNN, your source for the music and music production news. For those of you interested in continuing to see WNN, I would subscribe to my second channel. I think this channel may be slowly transitioning into a video essay channel. The video is sort of like my Krayshawn video as well as the R2R video I just uploaded. My second channel may be less reaction videos and more music production news and reviews, etc. going forward, as well as the Wave Wars beat battles. It won't be happening right away, but I think it'll be happening slowly over time, so make sure you subscribe. I will link it down in the description at the top link. Okay, so we got a lot of news to catch up on today, guys. In our first piece of news, we have something that almost no one wanted to hear. Unison Audio has released the Midi Wizard 2.0. Midi Wizard is their chord and melody generation software, and honestly this should be a free update because the first one was such garbage. And on top of being garbage, it was overpriced too. It's about $300 if I can remember correctly. So anyways, I've been on Unison Audio's email list for quite some time, that way I can keep an eye on this. Well, not this specifically, but just them. About 5 days ago, they sent out an email survey asking people what they want to see in Midi Wizard 2. And then they just released the plugin completely less than 5 days later, meaning the survey was completely pointless. So it's basically like, hey, what features do you want to see in Midi Wizard 2? Well, it'd be kind of cool if it's out. What? Midi Wizard 2, it's out. I didn't get to, that'll be $297. They've added new modes, they can create chords, melodies, and a hybrid, which is, hybrid of the two. They stated they have redesigned the algorithms. According to them, the algorithms in version 1 were way ahead of their time 3 years ago. Yeah, that's like the biggest lie I've ever heard. It comes with what they claim to be a world-class synth built in, and some basic effects. They've added AI chord progression detection, so they've basically just caught up with Scalar. They've added a link between Midi Wizard 2 and Bass Dragon. So they work together, and honestly they should probably update all their plugins to be able to do this. Just a warning for anyone considering getting this product. When you go to their website, it is equivalent to 50 plus physical pages. You're going to be scrolling down and down and down and down. It just keeps going. It is endless. It's filled with such things as take your music beyond human limits. Actually sounds good 98% of the time. As a historical Unison Audio hater, some may say the biggest of all time, I will say this version does seem quite a bit better than the old one, as well as some of their other plugins in the past. Is it worth $297 though, in my opinion? If you are interested in this, I would probably check out Captain Chords or Scalar. They are much cheaper. XLN has recently released a plugin that is pretty hard to describe. It is both a plugin for your computer as well as an app for your phone. You can record sounds in the app, and you can also use the plugin to make rhythms. The plugin automatically makes rhythms from audio files that you put inside of it. You don't only have to use the phone, but you can also use any audio file you wish. Okay, let's take a look at the video. Roll it!
Introduce.
Yeah, I feel like the last thing I want to do while playing basketball is turn it into a beat. It's just not a good sound. I just don't think it's a good sound.
Life by XLN Audio.
Let me know down in the comments, guys. Is that a good sound? Does that sound good to you? Spoiler alert, I have actually used this a little bit. I'm gonna give you my opinions on it in a bit. Let's watch this for now though.
Drag and drop audio or video.
They really could have done more with this demo here. I feel like this is not the greatest demo. It would have been nice if they put it in an actual song. I get they're trying to show exactly what you can do with just this, but it just doesn't sound good. I don't know. It's lacking context. So there's some cool things about this, but it's honestly very static in my opinion. It just doesn't really have a very realistic feel to it. And I know you can add swing to it. I don't know, just the beats I've made with it or the rhythms I've conjured from throwing Foley at it are just very static. I don't know. It just doesn't sound very realistic to me. The coolest thing I've found with this plugin is to stick vocals into it and have it make vocal chops and then tune the vocal chops to the song that you're working on. That so far is the most useful thing to me about this. Other than that though, I think it's all right. I don't know. It's okay. When you look at the price though, you'll be like, I don't know if I need that. Now, what would you guys say this is worth? What would you pay for it personally? 50, 75? Yeah, I was thinking 50 or 75 too. What if I told you it's actually 150? But you can get an intro price of it now for 109. Like I said, a bit expensive for what it is. Breaking news here. So apparently quite a few people are freaking out about the XLN audio terms and conditions that they changed whenever they released this plugin. So it states here that this is for the purpose of making their software and services better, including machine learning and AI training. It is a little odd how they wrote services. They could have left it at software, I feel like. As you can see though, it says you are granting a non-exclusive, irrevocable, free of charge, worldwide, perpetual, transferable, sub-licensable license to access, analyze, copy, store, modify, create derivatives from, make available to the public, yeah, this is a lot, and otherwise use in any manner and media, all created music work and any parts thereof, including but not limited to any recordings, stems, loops, sounds, samples, presets, MIDI files, underlying compositions. They did not leave anything off the table there. So you can see why people are a bit concerned about this. It is really weird how they wrote this, because if it is just for improving their software, there's no reason for them to be able to create derivatives, make available to the public. Then below that, they talk about you waiving any moral rights, which in a best case scenario could be about the whole AI thing, but in worst case, it could not be. And this also goes for the trial period. Best case scenario, they're just using it to train AI and worded it very poorly. Worst case scenario, they could be using your loops and samples in order to generate presets or utilize in other ways. Again, I don't know why they would write it like this. It comes off very suspicious. So I guess I would keep that in mind if you're planning to use this software. If you don't have a problem with that, then by all means, go ahead. Honestly, don't even find the software that great to begin with. So that combined with the terms, I'm out. A little while ago, I dropped a review of SYNPLANT 2, and I said it was a bit overrated and people were not happy about that. Well, this news here only lends more credibility to that theory. There is now a free alternative to the genome section within SYNPLANT 2. The genome section allows you to drag in an audio file and then it'll create synth settings that match that audio file. Essentially, there is a free software called MicroTech that you can use to create vital presets from any audio file. Now, I personally haven't used it yet. If you guys want to see me go through it in a video, let me know down below. In our next story, we have a little bit of darker news. Apparently, Diplo is in potentially deep. A woman from California is in civil litigation with him. She told police that Diplo sent nudes of her to another person, and there are even more allegations than that. Diplo's lawyer said this is part of a smear campaign. Apparently, she's been in a legal battle with him since 2020. And this is the second time she has accused him of this. Diplo was not charged criminally with the original allegation. She is suing him for, this is a big list here, guys. She was suing him for sexual battery, gender violence, intentional intrusion into private affairs, battery, assault, defamation, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and fraud. Pulled out a whole checklist there, just like what can we get him with? There is a civil trial set for April 2024. Now Diplo is also suing her, so this is some pretty messy. He's suing her for stalking, trespassing, distributing private materials. The lawsuit filed by Diplo in April 2021 alleges Auguste to be dangerously unstable and claims she made relentless efforts to communicate with him after he ended their relationship, including through fake social media accounts. Well, that would make some of you guys dangerously unstable too. Stop it. When reached by Pitchfork for comment on the August police report, Diplo's attorney Brian J. Friedman said, "For more than 3 years, Shelley Auguste has been orchestrating an ongoing smear campaign against Wes." Obviously, the story goes a lot deeper. This is just the surface. It does seem like a bit of a scorned lover situation, though. In our next story, Ableton finally released a Push 3 upgrade kit. So if you have the controller version of the Ableton Push 3, you can buy the upgrade kit and you will be able to upgrade it in 30 minutes, apparently. Obviously, the standalone version does not require a computer to use, and the controller version requires you to utilize a computer. You guys know what the standalone push is. We're not gonna go there. I'm gonna edit this. I'm gonna put funny music behind it because that's funnier.
Improvisation. We saw.
I'm pretty sure Jonathan Stein is the one person I made that meme about, where it says every Ableton user looks like this.
We saw beat makers having beat battles on it.
Show me a time when Timbaland does not look insane. It's tough. It's tough to find, man.
Pop hits being written on it.
What a weird set location they have set up here. They've got a bunch of old gas pumps, and then they just monitors and like a whole music setup, and then a light. Like, did they just start building something and they were like, "F it, just leave it like this"?
We had to do a lot of work with the operating system. We had to support an audio interface for it to work without an additional audio interface. And we needed to do work for MIDI and Wi-Fi.
I mean, it really seems like what the Push 3 has been able to attain is pretty impressive, but I guess like the whole reason why I've never kept mine is just because it doesn't feel like it's providing anything that you can't just do with your computer. So like to me at least, like it just seems like limitations that don't really help me be more creative really. As many of you may know, Spotify's yearly rap stats recently dropped. And it's my favorite time of year because I get to post cringe. Some of you might say, Weaver, you already post cringe like all the time. Weird Al Yankovic decided to make a joke in his Spotify wrapped message to his fans. Well, it's kind of to Spotify. Let's check it out. Roll it.
Hey, how you doing? Al here. Look, I'll make this really quick. I just want to thank you all for your amazing support. It's my understanding that I had over 80 million streams on Spotify this year. So if I'm doing the math right, that means I earned $12. So, enough to get
Haven't heard that one before.
myself a nice sandwich at a restaurant. So from the bottom of my heart, thanks for your support and thanks for the sandwich.
Well, you might want to slow down there, Al. That was some pretty weird, edgy shit. I've never heard that joke before. In our next story, GLORILLA, such a dumb story. In her next story, GLORILLA says that she doesn't zip up her pants because her twat is too fat. I mean, maybe that's a joke. I don't fucking know. I mean, if she doesn't really zip up her pants, like, why would you not zip up? I don't fucking get it. She's not even attempting to zip them up, though. I call cap. This is cap. She's not even attempting to zip them up. We are being trolled right now. I'm an expert. Yeah, I'm an expert. That's it for this episode of WNN. If you press the like button, Sep from Unison Audio said that I get to be the face of the next plugin, meaning I will be animated and I get to put whatever I want in it. It'll be very expensive. Bye.
Bang Incorporated.